Welcome back, everybody, to the Chris Salcedo Show. Just 2 months before the FBI's Mar-a-Lago raid, Trump fully cooperated with a grand jury subpoena related to documents from the National Archives. Around the same time, Trump asked the National Archives to grant journalist John Solomon and former Trump official Kash Patel access to non-public documents on the Russia probe. Trump's spokeswoman said, quote, "They will work to make available to the American people previously declassified documents that reveal a clear conspiracy to unlawfully spy on candidate and then President Donald J. Trump by the FBI, DOJ, and others, the largest state-sponsored criminality in American history." Joining me now is former California Congressman and CEO of Trump Media and Technology Group, the one, the only, Devin Nunes. Hey, Congressman, it's fantastic to have you back. Do you think it's possible that the raid on Mar-a-Lago was intended to prevent Trump from revealing those documents I just mentioned?
You know, that's actually the first thing that went through my mind, Chris, was exactly that, because I am aware of those documents. I saw those all through, I guess back in 18 and 19 and 20 when I was the top Republican on the House Intelligence Committee. They're very alarming documents, and President Trump declassified those documents over and over and over again, and yet where the hell are they? So we understood, as those of us that followed the Russia hoax closely and the Durham investigation, that they were in the archives. Yet, as I understand it, when John Solomon went to the archives, they were nowhere to be found. So, look, I think after Garland's press conference today, all I can say is it was bizarre. It made things more cloudy. None of it makes any sense. And the fact that he would sit up there and defend these actions and kind of whine and cry about that people's feelings are hurt, and then I don't think I'm paraphrasing, at the DOJ and FBI is absolutely preposterous. And it kind of shows you the divide in this country about, and the more that they do this, the more that there's press conferences like this, the more they go in with sirens ablazing and guns at 6:30 in the morning, the wider this divide is going to get. And clearly, Garland, not a surprise, is oblivious to that.
Well, Garland and Christopher Wray, oblivious and silent when left-wingers are doing harm out there to our fellow citizens or even to law enforcement officials. They say nothing about that. But the minute a perceived, and I've got to stress, perceived threat comes from alleged Trump supporters, then they're finding the nearest camera they can find to decry the Trump supporters. I'm seeing that duplicity as well. By the way, you mentioned you didn't appreciate the Merrick Garland press conference today. Let me ask you, the warrant is being released, but no affidavit. Are you, do you have concerns about that?
Yeah. Well, look, this is, you have to remember, whatever the DOJ is going to put out there in public and whatever they put in the warrant before the judge, and this is not just Donald Trump, this is just how the Department of Justice and the FBI operate, and that is they're going to make it put, whoever it is they want to search in a very bad light. The problem is that they have a very bad history, especially dealing with President Trump, of getting these warrants. We only have to go back to the FISA warrants where they lied to a FISA court in order to spy on Trump and ultimately the entire Republican Party. And then a bunch of people were prosecuted that should not have been wrongly prosecuted over this. So, look, Chris, it's just more of the same. And sadly, I think what you see Garland doing is just making this problem worse. And look, I don't know if, do they actually know it, or are they playing stupid, or all the above? But I can tell you this. What did we hear? Like, this is what we heard the last 72 hours. The guy was a no-show. We didn't know. The fake news was kind of reporting, oh, Garland knew, Garland didn't know. Garland knew, Garland didn't know. We didn't know anything sitting out here in the public. And then what did we hear? What do we know for sure? Or what the fake news said for sure? The White House didn't know. And then this morning, they say before this Garland, when the Garland press release or the press conference was announced, what did they say? The White House had no idea that Garland's going to have a press conference. So, look, what can we take from this? The White House surely knew. So, so what do we need? You talk about they can take their subpoena and shove it, okay? But what we really need is what's underlying that. What are the communications? We need Congress needs to demand all the communications, and actually the public should get to see everybody who was involved in this, all the names of the FBI agents, who were the DOJ people that were on the premises. What are all the email communications that all went on between everybody internally, between DOJ, FBI, and the White House. And I think, look, FBI does not deserve any credit or protection in this. What they, these agents should not have been doing this. But people are losing sight of the fact that FBI responds to DOJ's commands, and we now learn today that Garland approved the commands to go into President Trump's home.
Well, I think you're laying out a perfect example of what the Republicans should be doing. We just can't count on Mitch McConnell because, you see, he can only pay attention to one thing at a time. He's paying attention to a flood in Kentucky, and when Republicans are under attack unjustly by the Department of Justice, that his supporters and his voters are forced to fund all of this injustice, he can't be bothered. He can't be distracted. He's focused on the flood, Congressman, as you know. According to the Washington Post, some of the items Trump was supposed to turn over were things like vital importance of cocktail napkins and letters from foreign leaders like Kim Jong-un, and even Melania Trump's wardrobe was ransacked during the raid. How likely is it that you think that the FBI is on a fishing expedition here, looking for anything and everything that could possibly support their already predetermined goal of indicting President Trump?
Yeah, look, I don't think you can rule this out. I mean, what you're alluding to is that they use this as a pretext, right? These, supposed classified documents that, of course, we know we can. I don't want to waste time to list them all here, but we've seen Democrats or people aligned with Democrats have all kinds of issues with classified documents, including Clinton's guy stuffing classified documents from the archives in his pants and got off on a misdemeanor. Yep. That really happened. So look, we don't. I think what this is that they probably, and this is what I think people are concerned about, they could have used this as a pretext to get in, go through President Trump's entire home while he's not there, and look for anything and everything that they can to find something new to investigate him on. Because the whole idea that you're going to use the Classified Records Act to go after and prosecute former president who has said numerous times that he had declassified everything, especially as it related to the Russia hoax. Fat chance of that happening. Plus, at least in the reports, and I think this is accurate, those documents that did end up there were because a bunch of the government employees kind of came in, packed everything up, and just didn't know, and it was all an accident. So, President Trump didn't load those documents up and move those to Mar-a-Lago, I promise you.
J.P. Morgan's CEO is warning that an economic hurricane is coming. Are you preparing? If you don't do anything, your 401k could be a 201k, and that is not good. So call our trusted friends at Lear Capital. For 25 years, Lear has helped investors own gold to protect against market chaos. It's a good thing. They can help you, too. Get your information and up to $15,000 in bonus IRA gold. Just call this number, 800-880-4300. That's 800-880-4300.